Baby dolls, how many times have I told you that Bitcoin is a neo-religion? It started off as a meme, and then it became a cult. Now it's a neo-religion. Memes, cults, religions. Have a listen to this clip. You're going to see Michael Saylor eventually lead to talk about Satoshi, because we talk about him with reverence. Think about this, friends. Let's listen together.
End up being a meme or should be used for other videos, it's yours. Because, folks, I want you to focus on Michael's face. Mike, you don't make a lot of facial reactions. You're typically very stoic. But in this moment, you couldn't control yourself. I want to know why. Go ahead, Rob.
You mentioned you met Satoshi in Seattle in 1993.
Yes.
He also came to you in a dream. You have a nice relationship with Satoshi.
I feel like I do.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a story to tell. Definitely have an opportunity to meet him back in 1993.
You mentioned...
Now, what happened previous to that? What happened after that? Is he saying 1993? Is he confusing Satoshi with Michael Jordan, who in 1993 Seattle? Is he thinking George Carlin as Satoshi, Sean Kemp, 93 during the playoff? Who is he talking about here?
Look, I like Scottie, you know, and he came over to my house and we had a nice dinner on my yacht and we talked all about Bitcoin and it was awesome. And I have the greatest respect for him. I think that the interviewer kind of asked him an unfair question and I was a little bit uncomfortable because us Bitcoin maximalists, we are very protective of Satoshi and we don't, and you know, we don't like, well, we don't talk about Satoshi other than with reverence. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't have much more to say.
See, friends, we don't talk about him. Reverence. Absolute reference. See that? Do you notice how it really is following my framework of memes, cults, religions? It's nuts. Is it nuts? Not really. We're able to put it together. That's what communities are, friends. This is SaylorTracker.com. Okay, Michael Saylor's around 80% on side. I mean, he's not even on side at 2x. That's crazy, yeah? But he's got billions of dollars. Look at that. His position now is 30 billion right here. He's up 13 billion. Man, that's nuts. He just keeps buying and buying and buying. I hope you learned something from that. Bitcoin, memes, cults, religions. Now we're seeing the meme coin super cycle. Is it just degeneracy super cycle? It feels like it sometimes, but no. Friends, when you buy Bitcoin in 2013, what do you do after that point? You buy it and then you tell everybody else to get in. Okay. Bitcoin was $400 back then. Then when Bitcoin hit $4,000, what did people do? They bought it and they tell everybody to get in. Then Bitcoin goes to $40,000. It does another 10x from that point. What did people say to do? Hey, I'm in Bitcoin. You should buy some too. Now Bitcoin is at $90,000. It's going to be the same thing at $400,000. Another 10x. You see? So when you look at that, you get to see that it's got nothing to do with this tech stuff. The community is the asset, not the code. Memes, cults, religions. It's all about the community. You're not investing in a real narrative. The narrative can always shift and morph and change. You're investing in a community. The community exists around the narrative. The community can be versatile enough to move around. You need believers to make it. So you just get to see, we don't talk, but Satoshi, oh, because they're all in. They're in on Satoshi's coin. I love Satoshi, friends. Satoshi is awesome. We have everything to thank for Satoshi. Everything. The whole crypto industry. But you get to see, man, it's the same thing that's occurring right now. Now, also, I want to show you something too. You've seen it before, but it all comes down to that Bitcoin dominance, doesn't it? Because you see this type of talk, friends, you know, there was no talk of Satoshi back in 2020 when the Bitcoin dominance started doing that. They weren't talking about Satoshi here, okay? They weren't talking about Satoshi when we had the DeFi season. They weren't. It was all about the altcoins, all right? But now that Bitcoin dominance goes up only for the longest time ever. Literally the longest up only Bitcoin dominance run in history. It's up for 679 days. That's wild, isn't it? 679 days. We had a big alt season here, DeFi season. Look how long Bitcoin ran for back then before it finally flipped. For 546. So if we were repeating that again, where would 546 have been? Well, it was July of this year. So we were meant to, if we were following last cycle, we were meant to have an alt season. But we did kind of, just meme coins. But it was subsector meme coins, smaller, and it wasn't market wide. We needed Ethereum to pretty much burst up. Ethereum failed. Third cycle curse, right? So why do you think Michael Saylor is talking like that? Satoshi, because this thing has been going up forever. What do you think is going to happen when this goes down, friends? Bang. What do you think is going to happen there? Of course, we love Satoshi, but you're just seeing their moods reflected by the price. Memes evolve into cults. A cult is just a passionate meme. We just use the word cult. Okay, because you can't go from a meme to a religion. You need to grab a critical mass amount of people to separate yourself amongst the memes. Because there's hundreds of thousands of memes, they're making JPEG, pump fun, trash, brain rot stuff. So if you're a proven meme, you prove to the community in the world that you're going to last, that you believe at all costs, you hold. That's all you got to do, friends. You just got to hold. That's what believing is. You hold. It means you're looking at the liquidity pool and you don't take from the liquidity pool. You leave all your coins there or most of your coins there. You see, you don't abandon to another liquidity pool. You get it? That's the most amazing part. You can see the path now. There's no room in there for like, hey, here's a DeFi utility. Here's a privacy implementation. We love all the code. We love all the tech, but they're not the ones that run the most, you know? It's just like in the real world, friends. Like, we'll always need Band-Aids, you know? Maybe you cut yourself. Maybe you got into a fight with somebody and they've got round elbows, you got pointy elbows, but maybe you're having an off day. Maybe you cut yourself in an elbow fighting competition. You need a Band-Aid. Okay, the company that makes Band-Aids, maybe the margin of making a Band-Aid, maybe it's really small. Maybe it's only like 15% of, you know, the cost to produce the Band-Aid. Maybe they just slap on 15%. That's their profit margin. Now, Band-Aids, you need them, right? Because, you know, you can break out into an elbow fighting contest anywhere in the street. I love you guys. But then what about a luxury Louis Vuitton bag? Okay, friends, do you want to know what the margin on that is? It's something ridiculous. It's like 1,000%. 10x. It makes sense. You're like, hey, that didn't cost you $4,500 to make that bag. Of course it didn't. It cost you like $20, $400 max. You see, they add 10x, but people pay for it because it's scarce. You see? Now you're getting to see how all of it fits together. Now, you can't just go around through all these labels. At some point, you have to identify these things and allocate capital to them. So you get to see which of the communities working in the background for us and which are working against us. You get this painted now in a very, very nice picture. I hope it's starting to make sense to you. But what's coming next for Bitcoin dominance? Well, eventually, we go the other way. Based off the 4-year cycle, it's the year after the Bitcoin halving that everything goes nuts. And then people wake up. They go, wait a minute, you're just another layer 1 chain. I need to make gains. Everyone has that same conclusion out here, and they get excited about the altcoins. And also the altcoins are like borrowing from Bitcoin's, like, you know, scarcity. Because they're trying to take out the best parts from Bitcoin and see how that can be applied to add value elsewhere. And, you know, we already see this in the stock market. So people are storing their value in stocks that are network effects around the world. So I know it's separate to crypto memes, but it runs parallel. So Google's like international. So when you buy a Google stock, you're buying into the mindshare of the world. Everyone knows the Google engine. You see? Same as Apple. They're global networks. So there are people, they're choosing to store value in the Apple stonk and the Google stonk and the Amazon stonk instead of gold. Even though no one talks like that. Nobody in stock says, I am going to sell my gold. I will now buy this global network. They don't say that. The collective wisdom of the market, it shows you that in the ratios. But if you speak to each individual person, they're not going to talk like that. They're just going to be like, Apple, I got an Apple phone. I like apples. Apples sit next to bananas in my fruit bowl. Yay. That's as far as complication as you're going to get from that conversation. It was the same thing with crypto. People aren't saying, oh, what about the Bitcoin dominance and all these, even though we all talk about it. But, you know, people will eventually, you'll see, store more of their portfolio in altcoins outside of Bitcoin. I mean, like, we already know this from the past. This has already happened, friends. At the start, okay, Bitcoin was 99% of the industry. Bitcoin dominance was 99%. Then it became 85, then 65, then down to 39. It's back up to 59. You see what I mean? 60%. It's going to come back down. Okay, but remember, there's only one Bitcoin. So you're thankful for that. It's like your emergency. Just like how there's only one gold. So you go from all the tech. Okay, if I need to hedge myself against money supply stuff in a country, I can't buy stock. Okay, I get gold. There's only one gold. Yeah. Just like there's only one Bitcoin. The base money of crypto. The base money of the internet. But then you eventually you get into conversations about people saying, oh, we're all going to rotate back to Bitcoin. That's the same thing as the Peter Schiffs saying, well, World War 3, 4, and 5 are going to break out and you're all going to need to buy gold. You're going to need shotguns and cigarettes and gold. And what are the odds of that happening? You know, like we'll probably both be passed away and we'll do the soul loop, come back in like another 400 years in someone else's body. Maybe by the time something like that happens, maybe. But even then, I'm starting to doubt it, even with all the advanced UFO tech and stuff. So you're going to learn, friends, as well. The world's becoming more global. It's becoming more borderless. The same as crypto, right? Crypto is becoming more global and borderless too. It means ideas from all around the world. USA is opening up crypto. We're sharing more of that memes, cults, religion, and archetype. It's being shared more. And that's why ultimately, that's why, friends, when you see something like HEX and PulseChain, a neo-religion priced like a celebrity meme coin, same as HEX, right? You have to see where it's all ultimately going. Okay? So, I hope it all makes sense now, right? Michael Saylor. Oh, look, we don't talk about Satoshi like that. No. We don't usher his name. Shh. Don't you love it? Like, subscribe, Billy, but not catch you soon.